Hello and welcome to We Got a Podcast, a podcast about Dragon Ball from A to Z, from Earth to Namek to Sadala. We cover it all. My name is Randy.
And my name is My Powers Maximum Doug.
Ooh, I like that.
I always think up these things like 2 seconds before. It's like, oh yeah, I should say something stupid. And then I realize that's the entire podcast of me saying something stupid. But yes, please go on.
Oh, yeah, of course. We're the world's strongest under the heavens duo here every other week to talk your ear off about fights, goofs, and everything else in the Dragon Ball cosmos. Doug, what's new with you, man?
I just got some amazing new Dragon Ball figures. Woo woo!
Ooh, boy.
Such a sucker for them. I love them so much. And it's the new master release line that has Vegeta, Nappa, Gohan, Goku, and Cyberman. But I didn't get the Cyberman because that mother flipper was expensive for how small it is. So
yeah, or I would also feel like, I'm not really interested in a Cyberman.
I am, but then I have to get 7 of them just to match what's in the story. 6, I don't know, I forget how many they were actually spawned out of. I think 6, but yeah, I just
5 maybe. I don't know.
God, 5 times 40. I can't do that, man. Oof. It's not worth it at all.
You're trying to make a sick diorama there with everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I can't just have one. It's like, what the hell is that? Not a display.
It's the one that jumps out and blows up on Yamcha.
Damn it, that would be cool though. I kind of want it, but I'm not going to spend my money on it. Maybe when I'm a millionaire, that'll happen.
Yeah. There you go. I don't know why I'm trying to talk you into buying more figures, because you were the one that talked me into buying that same Vegeta.
Exactly. How can you not, though?
It looks so good, and I don't think we get a lot of things of just like tiny Saiyan arc Vegeta.
Not really. You're right. It's mostly just like, not even in his battle armor Vegeta, just the Majin Buu saga type Vegeta.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the new movie coming out. I hate how they released a new like figure arts type figure for it, and it just looks like same Vegeta, same Goku. It's like, hey, here, buy it, spend more money on this. It's a new figure based on the new movie. And like, but they're based on their old looks. What's the difference?
Yeah, man. And then also I saw your video on that one statue of Super Saiyan 3 Goku with the dragon doing the dragon fist.
Yeah, that figure is awesome.
God, that looks good.
I'm looking at it right now. It's on my desk, and it's beautiful.
I've been ogling, well, I guess not, but I've been like desperately wanting a really sick Super Saiyan 3 Goku figure for a long time. I remember being in like 6th grade and like looking on eBay at import Japanese figures, and there was one, and I'm sure it's a long defunct toy line, but it's like you have the body, and it's just base form, but then like you switch out the head for like Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. If you had that back then, you'd be the shit. You'd be the man.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure the sculpt, comparatively to now, is hot garbage.
Looks complete trash. I can almost guarantee it does.
Yeah. It's wild how, like, much better figures have gotten in, like, the last 10 years.
Yeah, it really is. Like, I even look back at figures that I bought about 10 years ago, and I'm like, oh, why did I spend money on this? This is ridiculous. But at the time, I thought it looked amazing. It was the best we had.
Right. Exactly. When you've got nothing better to compare it to, you're like, this is it. This is the best we'll ever have.
Just like video game quality.
Yeah. I remember distinctly being in high school and like, man, nothing's ever going to get better than Resident Evil 4. And you know what? That game still looks great.
And
but
now it's in VR.
Yeah, exactly. Now I can shoot and stab zombos in first person.
With full, like, immunity.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, man. What's new with me, you ask?
I did ask that. I just did. I said it too quietly. You didn't hear me. Go on.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm a horrible co-host.
I've been watching a lot of stuff lately, Doug.
Ooh, you have you?
I finished Power Rangers in Space, which was the first season of Power Rangers I didn't finish as a child.
You were watching Power Rangers again, weren't you?
I was.
Jesus.
And you know what? People were right that In Space fucks. Because it does.
Really?
It super does. I was very impressed. Very good story. Like, this is not a totally new cast. Like, most of them are from the previous season that came in like halfway through and replaced the original crew. And then like one new guy who's the Red Ranger, who's a mystery because he's an alien and like he has a mysterious past and he'll screw off and go do his own thing. He's got like his own mystery to handle. I'm like, this guy is so cool. I like this so much.
I still can't comprehend that there's a good story around Power Rangers. I just keep thinking back to the original when I first watched it and just random one episode stories that don't lead anywhere, where you just fight a giant pig. Or
if you get a chance, give In Space a try. It starts out strong and it continues great. Like, it's good stuff.
I might if Lance talks about it, if he continues his Power Rangers versus Jew Rangers series, which is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a while because you still got like 4 more seasons, and he's only got so much time in his life, I'm sure.
But what are we doing today, Randy? On
well,
topic?
I had more. I just wanted to quick run through a couple other things. Last night I finished Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which is great.
Oh yeah, you have so many shows you got to get through, man. Oh
it's
my
true.
God.
I finished watching, I guess, a Lupin movie trilogy, which is like 3 movies that came out after A Woman Named Fujiko Mine. And then I also watched the original Gundam movie trilogy, which is hard because it was very long and boring. And
very
I'm sorry.
Dated.
Original Gundam was not fun. But I am looking forward to the next season, which looks pretty sweet. But what are we doing? That's right. Let's stop talking about
I wish I had all the time in the world that you had to watch all these shows, or at least the passion to.
You could have all that time if you weren't ogling statues or like making TikToks.
Hey, we spend our time how we like. So
that's true. That's
right.
very true. But this episode is going to be different in that it's not going to be a review and it's not going to be a ranking, which I looked back and I'm like, oh, that's kind of all we do.
Yeah.
So let's mix it up. Let's do something a bit different. We're going to have a game show quiz episode
where I get to mess with you.
Yes, finally, the shoe is on the other foot, or something. I don't know. The rubber band is on the other claw, some might say.
Oh, poor lobsters.
Poor Zoidberg. It's a quiz-based show. It's called What's That Battle Power? So it'll be even more difficult because it's numbers-based.
Exactly.
So
I hope you studied up, buddy boy, because...
I didn't at all. I'm like, it'll be more fun if I go in without studying, because I don't want to be like, actually, this number was reported at this point in time.
And I try to make these questions a little more interesting than just, what's the number here? I try to make it a little more interesting.
Okay. I trust you. I trust you that it's going to be all good stuff.
You know me, I can't leave things to be just bland.
No.
I just can't. I got to be somewhat creative with it.
Yeah, you got such a beautiful creative mind, Doug.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem. I say that now before I'll be infinitely enraged at you.
The last question, what is your mind doing to me?
So let's get the torture on, and let's go for it. I think I'm ready.
Okay. I don't think you are, but
we'll find out. Let's dip our toes in.
All right, I'm going to start off from the very beginning. From the Saiyan Saga, Raditz is around. Piccolo's heavy clothing is how many battle points stronger than Goku's heavy clothing?
Oh my god. I really should have studied.
Do you know what I mean by this?
Oh, so the difference in if you take off his clothes versus the difference in Goku after his clothes come off.
Exactly. Piccolo and Goku both have a battle power with their heavyweights on, and then they take it off. Raditz reaches the power levels again. They're different. But they're different, the difference is not the same scale as it was back when they had the clothing on. You know what I mean? So
okay. Yeah. Okay. Here's a question for you, though, before we get into something like this. Do I have, a window? Like, if it was, it's 243,
and be like,
Randy.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is such a narrow, playing field right now because the power levels are so small.
Right.
So I won't give you a huge window, but
okay. You know what? Yeah, I think you just make your best judgment, and I trust you on that.
Cool.
Okay, so yeah, the numbers are low, and I want to say, trying to think.
Do you even know what, Piccolo and Goku's battle powers are?
I have a rough idea of what they were at the time, because I know, Gohan's was crazy high at, 1,200 something. And I want to say that Goku and Piccolo were less than that. After they took off their clothes, maybe they had reached 1,000. Maybe it was 900. So before that, it would have been 7 or 5. So I'm going to say there's 150 points of difference between Piccolo's clothes removal and Goku's clothes removal.
I'm gonna tell you what, you're way off.
Okay.
Think smaller difference.
Smaller difference. I'm going to say 45 points.
No, smaller.
7?
You're in the right window. Okay, so you obviously didn't get this one right. Piccolo's battle power is with heavy clothing is 322. Goku's is 334. Just a mere 12-point difference.
Oh, okay. I thought it. Okay, gotcha.
And then Piccolo with heavy clothing goes up to from 322 to 408, and then Goku's goes from 334 to 416. Just an 8 battle point difference. So I'm taking the 12 difference from when they had clothing and the 8 difference they had without clothing, and making it that Piccolo's heavy clothing is 4 battle powers cooler or stronger than Goku's.
Okay, that was a lot of math. I'm very impressed with you.
You know, as I was reading the question for the first time, I'm like, this is confusing to me, and I wrote this damn thing like 5 minutes ago, so I don't know. I had no chance that you'd get that question right.
You explained it very well, so if people want to get nerdy with it and take a look at the numbers, I'm sure they could figure out your process.
We should say that we got these battle powers from the good old people at kanzenshu.com. They do their homework.
Yeah, they've got their battle power guide. Is that what it was called?
Yeah, battle power guide. They have like sort of from like manga, TV show, movies, that kind of stuff, so it's very thorough.
Okay, perfect. It's only numbers that have been stated in things, not just like, Vegito is like 24 billion.
Yeah, there's no guessing or anything like that. It's just like what characters have said and like have read off their scouters.
Okay, perfect. I like that. That means that there's no way that it's random speculation. Okay,
exactly.
Cool.
I mean, some are open to interpretation, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
Second question. This is way easier. That was a hard one. This one is, what is Gohan's battle power after attacking Raditz?
Oh, after. So that after it's plunged back down?
Yes.
10?
No.
Too high?
Too high.
2?
What was okay, that was closer. It's actually battle power 1. It goes all the way to numero
down
uno.
To 1.
Yeah. Can you believe that?
He's 4.
Yeah.
And Farmer with a Shotgun was 5.
Broly was 10,000 when he was born, though.
Right. Well, yeah, that's why it's impressive.
Gohan just exuded all that power all in one go and then went all down to 1. I mean, that must mean, like, thinking that there's no 0 when scatters are reading power levels, you gotta imagine 1 just means, like, nothing. Like, he's just exhausted everything.
Well, we also know that Umegame is like 0.0000001%.
That's right.
1%, but
that was only in the TV show, though, so that is open to speculation.
Was it? I thought that was in the manga.
Nah, if you look at kanzenshuu.com, you go, it's not in the manga section, it's in the anime series only.
Huh, okay.
Yeah. It's different. I think they read it when, like, after the Namek Saga, whereas, like, Roshi's and Krillin's were all read, right after the Saiyan Saga.
Right after Bulma got it and
after
reprogrammed
Raditz's scouter. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. So are we counting that as a win for me? I was only 1 point off.
No.
I know that it was, like, the scale. Yeah, that's fair. You know what? That's fair.
If you said none, I would take that. But 2 is still double 1, so... Come on.
Okay. You know what? You're the judge here. I will defer to you.
So far, you're 0 for 8. I got 8 questions.
Here
comes number 3, buddy boy.
Oh, boy.
At the time when Nappa first reads Krillin's battle power, has Krillin's battle power surpassed that of Gohan's when he attacked Raditz? Yes or no?
No.
That is correct. Krillin's battle power is at 1,083 when Vegeta and Nappa first arrived, but Gohan's, when he attacked Raditz, was at 1,307.
Oof.
So
I wasn't totally off when I randomly guessed that it was like 1,200.
Yes, I was very surprised that you actually got like around there, but then you were like giving Goku and Piccolo too much benefit of the doubt with all that high power.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Well, cool. I'm glad I got that. I got one?
Yeah, you got one. Ding, ding, ding.
All right. Sweet.
I'm fairly confident you can get these just by like being the fan you are and like determining numbers.
Okay, good. You're not like asking specific ones, which is great.
Right,
like,
exactly.
Although there are a few that I have committed to memory, which is I'm my own.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder if that'll help you in the future, but let's see.
Let's see.
Question numero 4. When Gohan and Krillin arrive on Namek, they power up and quickly dispose of a couple of Frieza's minions. Zarbon's scouter picks them up and reads them both at about 1,500. When Gohan and Krillin have their potential unlocked by the eldest Namek, how significantly does it raise their battle powers? You can give me like a number or like a multiplier, like just, feel it out.
All right, so I'm going to talk this through here. So you said they were at 1,500?
Right, when they first arrive on Namek and dispose of... I mean, the minions weren't probably strong enough for them to use their highest strength, but that's what the scouter picked up, was 1,500. Yeah.
So, thinking about that, and I'm thinking about when Vegeta shows up at Saichoro's place and feels Gohan's ki after he's had it unlocked by him, and he's like, is Kakarot here? So obviously it would have to be somewhere at least above 20,000, because they were at like 23, 24 during the whole beam struggle thing. But would Vegeta have thought that Goku would have gotten stronger since then and up that number? I'm going to say we're looking for how much larger it would have been.
Yeah, you can tell me like how much their battle power like approximately is. I'm going to give you like a good window of...
Okay.
chance here.
I'm going to say 1,500 to maybe like 20 times, because 1,500 times 20 is definitely going to get us in the range of Goku on Earth.
Okay. So you're
Kaioken
guessing like
times 4 anyway.
You're guessing like 30, around the 30,000s.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say.
That's a huge bump from 1,500 to 30,000.
Yeah, it is.
Dude.
But you know what? I mean, Vegeta thinks he mistakes Gohan for Goku.
I'm going to tell you, you are overestimating your Goku,
Really?
Gohan, and Krillin's. Yeah, you got that one wrong. Was their battle power really like upwards of the 20s when they were doing the beam struggle, Goku and Vegeta's?
If I remember correctly, at least in the TV series, Bulma is reading it on the scouter as they're fighting, and she's like 21,000, 22,000, 23,000, and then it explodes.
Okay. Yeah, because I didn't research that part. Like that's not
which
one of the
I guess
questions,
if
so
you
you're
take 8,000, which is what he was at when Nappa, like when he was facing down Nappa,
right?
And then you Kaioken times 4. That
okay,
would be 24.
You know that number then. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Goku was at 8,000 when he was fighting Nappa. Yeah,
right, but without a Kaioken increase at all. So
no, but I'm kind of like impressed that you remembered also that Vegeta was like, "Do I feel Kakarot around here?" Like, so you kind of got that aspect of it. But Gohan and Krillin's power was read as being over 10,000.
Okay,
so
I mean that's still sizable.
That's very sizable. Like, but you saying 30 was like, oh my god, it's a little too much. But yeah, so it's just like I did the math because complicated math. It's like 6 or 7 times more stronger than the Scouters picked up when they first arrived on Namek. That's right. A crazy power up.
I mean, it's nothing compared to what happens with Goku, but maybe that's part of your thing. So I don't want to go ahead of you.
Yeah, probably not. But no, it's still super impressive that they're like at the 10,000 range now.
Or what Piccolo jumps from being killed on Earth to showing up on Namek having done absolutely jack shit.
Yeah, exactly. Just that tether to keep characters relevant.
I guess maybe it was just meditating and 10 times Earth's gravity got him that big boost. Which,
I want to do that.
Right? Sign me up. I'll be crushed to death, but I'll be enlightened.
All right, next question.
Okay.
When Goku first confronts Ginyu, he uses his Kaioken and raises his battle power to 180,000.
Damn it.
What character within the same saga, like Namek Saga, that whole spiel, would need to use a Kaioken times 10 to reach the same number?
So then they would be at 18,000 to get that high. It's not Guldo because he's much lower. It's not Nail because I know what his number is.
You do? I don't know. Okay.
Have to 10 times 18,000 in the Namek arc. Huh? Kiwi.
Wow! Congratulations, you got it on the dot.
Yes.
Kiwi.
I'm sure he bragged about it to Vegeta, and he was like, "Oh, you don't know what I went through on Earth."
It was less bragging and more that he was with the things Zarbon and Dodoria, and they were like picking up Vegeta's battle power, and it was like surpassing. It was going higher, like 18. 19, 20, 22, and it just kept going higher and higher. And Kui is like, that can't be. I'm at 18, and Vegeta was barely at 18 when I last saw him. So that was Kiwi is at 18,000. Vegeta was. Right. He said that Vegeta was barely that when he was on Earth.
Interesting.
But then he since shot up to 24,000 when he got to Namek. Vegeta did. Good job on that. You got it, Kui. A good old buddy Kui.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm 2 for 5 so far.
That's impressive. All right, so let's try the next one then.
Okay.
Speaking of Ginyu, when he switched bodies with Goku, he could only muster up a battle power of 23,000.
Damn it! Stop saying the numbers that I know! Because I'm like, now my hope is gone. Okay, go ahead.
Well, you might look at this. Was he still stronger than Zarbon or Dodoria?
Oof. Frick. I don't remember what.
I think
Zarbon or...
but if you'd be able to figure this out by logic if you were listening very carefully just in this episode.
The scale of things never really makes sense. Sometimes you could just be 100 higher than something and just utterly decimate them, or you'd have to be thousands more. So who knows what the actual scale is in terms of things.
Goku and Piccolo were 12 battle powers different apart. Crazy.
And that was enough to the 23rd Budokai is pretty
they were
close.
neck and neck, so it was a good battle.
Is 23,000 stronger than Zarbon and Dodoria? I'm gonna say no.
When you go through the story, just think about like the story, like Vegeta's whole
Vegeta's 18 and
adventure.
20. Okay. I'm gonna say then. I don't know.
Well, no, like talk it out. What happens to Vegeta when he arrives on Namek?
So he shows up, beats Kiwi, and they read his power at 20-some thousand. But I can't remember if their reaction is like, oh no, or like, okay, I'm gonna say that yes, he's stronger because maybe they're like, 21,000, like that can't be possible. That's more than me.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna give this to you because you initially answered correctly with no. I was just kind of egging you on
to embarrass me in front of the internet.
A little
Douglas.
bit. To see if you could like math it out. Because I had literally said from the previous question that Vegeta was barely 18, shot up to 24 when he got to Namek. And Vegeta was strong enough to defeat Dodoria.
Yeah, that's true.
And Zarbon pre-transformation. So, I mean, Zarbon and Dodoria are at 24,000.
Okay. Well, thank you for giving that to me.
And Goku's body can only reach 23,000. Yeah. You're welcome. Yeah. No, I was just trying to see if you could, like, figure it out from the Vegeta's whole adventure.
I did, and I went with my gut, and I mathed it out at first, and then you're like, well, and I'm like, oh, now I don't know.
Oh, man. I want to see
is that 3 for 6 now?
Yeah, you got it. I wanted to see like your work. I don't want just the answer. I want to see how you arrived at that answer.
Show my work.
Yes, please.
Okay, do the long division. Show me how you got to that number. Okay,
because God knows I'm not going to do it. All right, this one's a simple one. In movie 5, you know it, you love it. Dore grabs Gohan's tail and suppresses his battle power to what?
Oh, shoot, I'm gonna guess 1 again.
You're going to guess 1. Completely incapacitated. Use all his energy.
It's like hanging out. He's just like hanging by that tail, isn't he?
He is. He is, but for some reason they didn't give him a 1. I'm going to give you a second guess.
Can I ask, is it still single digits?
That might be too much giving away.
Okay.
And me saying that, it might be too much giving away. So yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to say like 8.
No. You're wrong.
4.
It is at 50.
Okay. Well, so that's another clear indication of the scale. Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. It's movie business.
Movie logic.
Yeah.
But you know what? I had it wrong.
Not that Toriyama, like, I'm sure, put too much thought into it either. You're probably just, like, rudimentary, like, yeah, this is like a 10 times multiplier, blah, 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 and that kind of stuff. But, yeah.
Yeah, what number would be impressive?
I doubt they would. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, his power level, his battle power is at 50, when his tail's grabbed, which is still impressive.
Yeah, exactly. That's 10 times stronger than a grown man.
That's true, than a farmer with a shotgun.
He is as strong as 10 men when he is basically unconscious.
Oh, man, if only. All right, this is the final question I got for you.
Oh, no.
Keeping it nice and sweet, nice and short.
Okay.
It's simple. It's just seeing if you can do math. If Frieza, it's a hypothetical, okay?
Sure.
If Frieza knew the Kaioken, this is the hypothetical part. Obviously, I don't know if you guys got that. I don't know if you're a big Dragon Ball fan or not, but Frieza can't do the Kaioken. But if he could do the Kaioken, and he had a battle power, let's say, of 1 million, what would his battle power be after using the Kaioken with no multipliers?
So, my understanding is that a Kaioken and Kaioken times 2 are actually the same thing, in that 1, like, is just a slip up, and like it's all a multiplier. So obviously the base one would be a times 2, times 3 would be 3 times, 4 would be 4 times. But you're telling me that it's not a multiplication for a base Kaioken? We have numbers that indicate that?
Exactly what I'm saying. That's the words coming out of my mouth.
Okay, I'm still gonna go with my own knowledge and deduction, and I'm going to say that if you had a battle power of 1 million, which is what he guesses his battle power would be in his second form, that he would be at 2 million.
Thanks for that extra credit work. That's a good answer. So what about a Kaioken times 10?
Times 10, then it would be 10 million.
Good. Okay, Kaioken times 4?
4 million.
Perfect. And then what about Kaioken times 2?
Still 2 million.
Guess what, Randy? You tricked the trickster. You got me from the first sentence you uttered in your answer. That was probably my slip up to you that yes, indeed, Toriyama slipped up. And Kaioken is the same multiplier as Kaioken times 2. Not intentionally, mind you. This is a direct slip up from Toriyama. I have this quote from kanzenju.com that reiterates this. The Kaioken times 10 is said to increase Goku's strength 10 times. In Daizenshuu 7, Goku's Kaioken times 4 battle power is listed as being 32,000. for times his regular battle power of 8,000 at the time. So if Kaioken times 10 increases power times 10, and the Kaioken times 4 increases it fourfold, you think the Kaioken times 2 would likewise double his power, but that's what the narrator says the regular Kaioken does. This would imply that regular Kaioken and Kaioken 2 are one and the same, but Goku seems to imply that they're different things. Since he tries one and then the other is like in a futile attempt to gain the upper hand against Vegeta, this is just Toriyama's mistakes. It's chalk it up to that.
So Toriyama tried to trick me 30 years in the future.
He did,
by messing up.
I tried to trick you with his trick, but you already knew his gosh darn trick. So congratulations, Randy.
Thank you.
How many is that? I think that's a net positive. You got more than half right.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, buddy.
Wow. And that's with no studying. Man, I feel so dang proud of myself.
I didn't know this Kaioken times 2 thing until I looked it up, and I was pleasantly surprised. Like, I'm going to get Randy with this question. I even had it written down a scenario of what was going to happen. Like, you would answer correctly, and then I'd ask you times 2, and I have next written underneath that, Doug says, wrong. Expecting you to get the wrong answer. But no.
That's so good. Okay, I've got these are not creative questions. But I'm just going to ask you, I'm going to test you on some numbers. Yeah, that's not fair, because if I'm wrong, then it's going to be just a shit show of well, Randy, the internet came back and they said that you were stupid and didn't read numbers right.
They're going to do that no matter what we do, but whatever. Yeah.
I'm going to, if you know what? Okay. Shoot. I just wanted to brag. So Nail, I believe, is 42,000.
Is he?
Which I think so, which is why it's insane, because he is the strongest warrior of their race. But at the time that we get that information, that's not a crazy impressive number.
Right.
But if you look at it compared to everybody else just a couple months earlier, that is insane.
Well, no, because I was looking through, I didn't, I think, look from Nails, but I saw, I skimming through the Battle Power guide, and I saw the Namekians that were protecting the village. The 3 strong ones
or something, right?
They were 3,000. They were just 3,000.
That's still a lot.
That's still a lot, but you're saying the Nails in the 40s? That's crazy.
Yeah, which, I mean, it tries to explain how Piccolo gets so strong. Granted, 42,000 is still nowhere near enough to take down 1 million.
Right. But, well, I don't know, depending on, the whole fusion aspect of it, but still, where did Nail come from with this 40? This is bonkers numbers.
Right? And, why didn't he just go take care of everything?
He could take care of an Ozaru Vegeta at that point. A really weak Ozaru Vegeta, but still.
Right, exactly. And I think everybody knows what Frieza's first form power level is, right?
His first form? No, I don't know.
Yeah, 530,000.
You know what? All these answers should have been battle powers are bullshit, and that should have been the answer for every single one of these. Because that's what the Namek Saga was trying to teach us in the first place.
Oh, absolutely. The other thing that helps with me remember that is, the song Solid State Scouter from the Bardock TV special.
Yeah, how can you not?
And the whole time, of course, the singer, quote unquote, not really singing, is just reading off numbers. And they're just battle powers there. I believe most of them are numbers in the series. But the final one, when the music stops and the number he reads is 530,000, which is Frieza's battle power, which is...
Oh, I didn't know that.
Terrifying.
Yeah, Vegeta... Frieza's second form always stood out because it's an even 1 million. That was the easy one to remember.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
exactly.
I'm looking through the list. I don't even see. Oh no, I do see Nail. Now I see Nail at full power is 42,000.
Oh, good. I was right. I was gonna feel so bad if I was wrong on that one.
Yeah, chapter 286, page 5, panel 1. Frieza's oh, this is incredible. Your battle power has risen to 42,000. Crazy.
I mean, that is impressive. I mean,
he's guarding the eldest Namek, so you got to be, somewhat impressive, but damn.
Yeah, man. Whew. This quiz, though, dude, was very good. I was very impressed because, we didn't come up with the topic until today, and you're yeah, I got it.
Yeah, I got it. I had dinner. I'm yeah, I can. I was just gonna do a boring one, just have things, but I literally said at the beginning of the episode, I can't. My mind just doesn't let me do that. It doesn't not satisfied with that. I gotta at least put in some math or some creative tweaks to it.
You know what? I was half expecting you to come at me with a Kiri number from the Boo arc of how many Kiri is Super Saiyan 2 Gohan?
I almost did. But it wasn't interesting enough. It was I think it was Yakon's is 800 Kiri, and Goku at a Super Saiyan was 3,000 Kiri.
3,000?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I remembered the 3,000. I just couldn't remember who is what.
But also the numbers 800 and 3,000 in Japanese is a blanket term, not even specific numbers.
It just means a lot.
Yeah, I read the description. I still don't get it, but it's something with Japanese culture we have something similar in America. I think they said like
a million. It's like, a million. Like it's probably not, but it's
yeah. Like just an exaggeration. I think in the Kanzenshu website it says like 40 is used throughout the Christian Bible. I didn't read. No spoilers. I didn't read the Bible yet, but I guess it's used as 40 a lot.
Well, once they've got a manga adaptation, we might be talking.
I mean, maybe if they put it on Kindle, and then I still don't read it on there.
I need to know what Jesus's battle power is.
I don't know Jesus's battle power. Does it ever reach 1? Does he ever exhaust it? Just have like a off day?
If somebody grabs his tail, what does it sink down to?
But also, we're saying like, is this character stronger? We just mean like battle power wise. Obviously, there's always like fighting techniques that another character could easily take care of a character that's stronger than them battle power wise. All that kind of bullshit.
Oh, I mean? Of course. That's the whole point. You can upset it, be surprised or like, oh, I was just masking it and I'm actually much stronger.
Yeah. Or not even just masking. I just mean like one is never fought before in their life and one is a master fighter. But for some reason, the non-fighter has a huge battle power comparatively.
If you pit Bardock, who I believe was like at 10,000 when he was gonna die,
against Baby Broly.
Yeah, exactly. Who would win in that fight? I'm pretty sure Bardock would win because he's got the expertise.
He does, but damn, 10,000 as a baby, that's uncontrolled rage.
Exactly, man.
But yeah, this was fun, man. I'm glad you took the test and you came out with flying colors.
Yeah, I'm very proud of myself. I need to make like a medal or a badge or something just to remind myself of, you know what, I do have value because I know Dragon Ball's stupid numbers.
So many stupid numbers. I don't know why you know all these numbers. This is fun for me to learn too, like just making this quiz of itself. Like I learned a lot about battle powers and how interesting it is. Like, oh, this character was at this stage, Vegeta was here, and he's surprised Kiwi and Zarbon Midori, all that kind of stuff, and then Zarbon transformed, boosted it up. It makes sense. It's when it gets to like the Cell Saga that it's supposed to not make sense anymore. Like that's when people should have dropped it, but people latched onto it because numbers are solid, quote unquote.
I remember in the old days, I want to say I was on like planetnamek.com and they're like, here is the battle power guide for everything.
Everyone.
And it's all like speculation. Super Buu with Gohan absorbed. Just like, okay.
I remember seeing all that too. That's how daunting I thought it was going to be when I first put up the battle power guide on Kanzenshu, but I'm like, no, it's very like sorted out, very like laid out perfectly, and it's like, oh, this is when the character says this, like in this chapter, this panel, this is when the character says this character's battle power is this, so it's great.
Here's another one. Here's another random one for you. It's not a battle power specifically, but Battle of Gods. Toriyama mentioned how strong Beerus is and how strong Whis is in comparison. I believe he also gave us how strong Super Saiyan God Goku is, but he used very low numbers. Do you remember the number he would give to Beerus and the number he would give to Whis?
No, I don't remember that at all.
I don't remember what Goku was. It was like either like 7 or 8, but Beerus is a 10. And if Beerus is a 10, Whis is 15, which is like, oh,
wait,
that's
who said
large
this?
Difference. That was a Toriyama interview, I believe.
Oh, it was a Toriyama interview. What? That's wild.
Yeah. It's
what does he know?
Really
he doesn't
puts things in perspective.
He doesn't know.
He wrote the script, my friend.
He wrote the script. Yeah, you forgot what power levels were, so he's a bit of a new rating scale for it. And it's like, yeah, this
new
is
scale.
He's 10. And
that's what we should do. Instead of basing it on the battle power guides, tell me how strong Cell is in comparison to Beerus using this number scale. Cell's probably like, Cell's a 1.45.
You know what Toriyama did? He just like thought a scale 1 to 10. Yeah, Beerus is a 10. Oh yeah, I did make Whis. Whis is stronger, so I guess let's just say 15. Yep. That's Toriyama's thought process. I love the guy. Genius brain.
Yeah, magnificent brain.
But super relatable in his laziness.
Oh yeah, exactly. Let's take a quick break, and then we're going to have just a little bit here. We're going to see what people had to say about some hot takes about power levels.
Ooh.
Alrighty, we're back, refreshed. Our battle powers are fully maxed out.
I'm still
again.
at 1. I mean, that's my max anyway. So.
I mean, if a sturdy farmer is a 5, I'm pretty sure I'm like a 2 or a 3.
And the farmer with shotgun just increases. I never understood that. The whole with Kamehameha
I think it's just a fun joke. of that.
No,
you know?
not that.
Just
No,
like,
just like the increase in battle power, the concentration that the characters have. Like, there's Goku battle power this, and then Goku battle power with Kamehameha is this. Like, crazy stronger.
right.
I mean, I understand he's concentrating it all, but where does that come from?
It should still be the same. It should just all be concentrated in his hands.
Yeah, so I still don't fully understand that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure there's
Maybe
a YouTube
you're
video out
calling it
there of
forward.
somebody really digging into it deeper than we will. But
Oh, yeah. If that's your thing, honestly, rock on.
because, like, yeah, I'm interested, but not interested enough to look into the math and do it myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that's a good segue to hear what other people had to say about battle powers in general. We didn't mention that we were going to do a quiz. I just asked, what's your hot takes about battle powers?
Oh, really?
So some of these responses are, they're pretty good.
Let's hear it out.
So Real Rider Nexus, substitute Shinigami, says in response to what's your hot take on battle powers, just says, I'm just on the whole thing. You know what? I agree.
That was that was my thought process before making this quiz. But like I said, after making this, I'm like, oh, I have more appreciation for it now. Like, it really elevates the story in a certain way.
Exactly. I mean, it's clearly a tool that was used for a reason, and I think it works well, but you shouldn't be using this as like your gospel of like knowing how the story pans out. Don't
like go like to the schoolyard and like, oh, Goku could beat Yamcha times 10 Kaioken because he's got this, and that.
Exactly. Good friend of the show, Colton, at Sniper King 323 from Manga Mavericks, says, I guess they can be fun to talk about, but I just cannot fathom how anyone could spend so much time on something that clearly became irrelevant as the series went on. But hey, you like what you like. Mm-hmm. I mean, I made sure to tell him, oh, we're not fans of battle powers. Don't get it wrong. We're not singing the praises and being like, all right, let's compare our charts, because where do you have...
I got this number, Randy, because if you saw, he stepped on a cockroach, which would increase his battle power by 2.6.
I am curious for some numbers. I do want to know how strong was Chi-Chi when she was like infected with the
the Garlic
mist
Jr.
water
thing.
stuff.
I want to know. I want to know Ginyu Frog power level.
It's a good one. I'm also interested in that. Mm-hmm. It's all the weird side things. I'd be like, what?
Right.
How does this person measure
the actual,
up?
Like, oh, can Ultimate Gohan beat regular Gohan with Super Saiyan 3? I don't know. Like, it's
right.
We don't care.
Like,
about that.
I've always been curious. Could we get Krillin's battle power, like by the Majin boosts, like, or could he beat Form 1 Frieza at that point, or like Form 2 on his own? You know, the stuff like that. It's just, how does this relate to previous things? Because for some characters, eventually we don't get fights, so we don't know, like, okay, this person is now stronger than this person who is stronger than this person, but weaker than them. So it's like,
and it gives you like a good scale of like how much that one character has like progressed with their own strength, not number wise, but just like what level were they? What like villain could they take on now at this point?
Yeah, what was their improvements and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I'm bummed that we didn't get a number out of Tobble during the Yosan Goku and Friends Return when Goku turned Super Saiyan.
He can't point it at himself to read the scouter.
Well, not for himself, but like, what was Goku at a level of Super Saiyan after Boo?
He had a very out of date scouter. Like, I don't think. Yeah, unless there's like a Frieza Force still out there, like, and they just keep handing out scouters that are updated.
I mean, there is, because when Frieza gets brought back,
that's what I mean. Like, there has to be. That's probably where he got his scouter from. But it was still.
I would say it's a more sturdy scouter because it lasted up until the point of his transformation, whereas other people's before would explode at like 20,000.
You're right. You're right. Before Super Saiyan was even a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. I want to see
Do you know
that
what the multiplier is
story.
for Super Saiyan at the start?
It's same as Kaioken 1. I don't know. What is it? It was like 10. It was like something unimpressive. Like, looking back on it now, it's like 10 times.
It's pretty impressive.
Or is it 100 times?
Less than that, because Goku is using Kaioken
40
times 20 against Frieza and still getting whipped. So 40. Nope, still too low.
Damn it. I don't know then.
50. It was a 50 times multiplier.
Okay, you just could have said close. And I'm like, okay, 50. Yeah.
Do you know what, from Super Saiyan 1 to Super Saiyan 2, what that multiplier is?
No, what is that?
It's times 2.
Oh, really?
Which is still a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you double, you double a million,
and
that's
then
a lot.
Super Saiyan 3 is a 4 times multiplier, which is insane.
Crazy.
So, yeah. Numbers are weird.
That's pretty whack. Yeah, that's pretty whack.
Ranma Yasha says, like GPAs, they serve as a functional metric for comparison, but they are not the only factor that defines the strength or potential of a character. As seen time and again when characters with higher base power levels were beaten by those with lower ones, purposefully unreliable.
Yep, that's exactly what I was trying to get at before, where it's like, yeah, it's fun to compare. It's interesting to compare the characters, and like Vegeta could beat Zarbon in this scenario because he's this much battle power stronger, but it is rudimentary and based on skill as well, fighting skill.
Yeah, absolutely. We can speculate, but obviously it's, what makes the story more interesting is what it comes down to. I mean, Krillin was immensely weaker, but he was able to like lop off Frieza's tail and stuff. Like,
yeah,
there's surprise things like that are to take into consideration. So Kaboom Crusader Super Sean says most official power levels that are considered quote-unquote controversial, like Nappa's 4,000, don't actually have anything objectively wrong with them. The quote-unquote controversy is usually just overzealous fans making up rules and then throwing a fit when those made-up rules aren't adhered to. This should be common sense for people with a more healthy and realistic outlook on all this stuff, but it can be quite a hot take within more myopic Dragon Ball communities.
Wow.
I wish I could sit Toriyama down and explain to him why his numbers are wrong types of places. Wow. Yeah. That's not our scene.
Yeah, I think that's where like it kind of takes a turn. I think that's where Battle Powers got a bad rap, is people turning it that way. Because if we just left it as it would have been like, oh, that was an interesting part of the story where numbers were involved. But yeah, I think it's just a lot of it was back because it released in America and everyone wanted it to be edgy. Everyone thought it was edgy for themselves, so. Like, yeah, let's do numbers. These numbers, Krillin could be this guy, it's badass, all that kind of shit.
Exactly. It's the giving you numbers to take to the schoolyard and be like, well, this character is better than your favorite because here's a number.
Yeah, that kind of ruins it. Well, some people find it fun, but for us, it's kind of ruins it.
Right, yeah. I think that's a little too much of something. It's just not fun for a conversation.
Yeah.
But I think, you know what, let's pat ourselves on the back. I think we made a Battle Powers conversation fun and entertaining and not
I didn't make one
insufferable.
Over 9,000 reference throughout the entire thing. Oops.
Oops, it had to happen.
I said it.
I'm sorry. It's part of the culture, people. What can I say?
I almost threw it in there as one of the not questions or answers, but like within like one of the math problems. But I forgot about it like a second later. I'm like, okay, I'm glad I forgot about that.
What would his power level have been in Kaioken times 4 if we were going off of dub numbers?
Yeah. It was probably like something like, oh, Krillin and Gohan's power level is 10,000. What is that higher than? Oh, over 9,000. Subscribe, hit that like button, follow.
Oh man, that's good. So I think that's pretty much it. We don't have any other trivia this time around because that was the show.
Trivia,
yeah. Thank you everybody for listening. We love interacting with you, keeping you in the conversation. Sorry if we worried you and thinking that we were going to talk about like the most boring thing possible. About
hopefully you stuck around long enough to understand that we were not going to be doing that.
Yeah, exactly. Like just from the some of the tweet reactions, it was like, this is terrible.
How else could you bring up Battle Powers without like that though? Like unless you mentioned it was a quiz itself, it's yeah. That's what I should have done. Even that, thinking, a Battle Power quiz is going to be so lame.
Right? Yeah. I mean, but it's not because we had your beautiful brain.
Oh,
I mean, it's just short-sighted and like not thinking how things are people are gonna react. It's kind of like if you said, hey, starting tomorrow you're gonna be able to show your Shonen Jump love in a whole new way, and we're really excited to show this to you.
Everyone's like, no, an NFT, don't say it in
God damn it. No, and then like they had to come back a couple hours later. It's not NFTs.
Yeah, that was so funny that they came back and said, by the way, not an NFT. Stay tuned tomorrow for details.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't care what it is, so long as it's not that, which was great to see, like, them coming out, like, it's not, please don't get upset, and, like, clearly they didn't think it through, and that's, how can you, like,
Yeah, that's just where, like, the climate is right now, with, it feels like everyone's going towards NFTs, like, all the companies are going, I was like, why?
When can we invest in Jabaz coin?
Jabaz coin is going on sale for 0.000001 zenny. So first, you get to get Zenny, you got to go through. All right, you can cut me off now and end the show.
This is also the perfect time to cut Doug off to tell him that he needs to read Dragon Ball Super because we just had a new chapter today, and I'm sure that you're not caught up.
More story for me not to read.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, man. You said this is the year. I know that we're only a few weeks in.
It's only January. Yep.
I'm gonna have to ride you for months in order to get this to happen.
Please.
But I'm riding dirty, Doug.
Riding dirty.
Thank you to Rifti Beats for letting us use his track Kakarot theme hip hop trap remix. You can find it and other great tracks by Rifti on his SoundCloud. Thanks to our sponsors, Doug. Where can people find you? What are you up to?
I am Jabaz Doug on social medias.
Good deal. And you can find me at Saber_Breaker on those social medias. But yeah, that's the end. Again, subscribe, tell your friends, post a review. It super helps us out. And check us back in a couple of weeks where we'll talk about something else that will either get you excited or make you very wary about ever listening to our show again. We'll find out.
Sounds good.
Later.
See ya.